Okay, now that we can actually record, since my mic is working and I actually turned it on this time, I don't even, you know what, I'm not gonna even double check. If it's on, it's on. If it's not, we're gonna be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of what it's like being a pro gamer. I'm gonna be telling you guys the truth. We're gonna be going over the pros, going over the cons. Let's get right into it. First off, first pro, we gotta go with the money. I mean, everybody likes money. Everybody wants to know what money's like in esports. The truth about it is, if you're in high school, or if you're straight out of high school going into professional esports, not going to college, not going to university, pretty much not having any student debt, and getting the money that they're paying, it's a pretty decent amount for somebody that is in their teenage years. Generally, when you're playing in professional esports, depending on the organization that you're with, the org will probably be paying for your lodging, your food, paying for your phone bill, maybe. And pretty much any money that you're getting, any like your base salary, prize money that you're earning, it's just sitting there. You're able to save it up. So money is 100% a pro in my book for being a professional gamer. Okay, moving on, we gotta go with team houses. This is definitely a pro for me, although it can be looked at as a con, and there are trade-offs when it comes to team houses. And if you guys don't know about team houses, you wanna know what it is really like, I've done a video about it. It will be in the card. I don't know what side it's on. It'll be above me. Pretty much when it comes to team houses, it was a really memorable experience for me. I loved it. The fact that I was in a house in LA by the beach with a bunch of my buddies, with my teammates, I got to know them, we got to do team outings, we got to eat together. Pretty much our lives consisted of just getting to know each other and working together to be the best team that we can possibly be. Next, we have brand building opportunities. Pretty much when you become a pro gamer, you get this status, you get this attention. A lot of eyes are on you. You're part of this esports organization, and pretty much anybody that follows that team essentially might be following you too individually. So why wouldn't you put yourself out there on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, like really setting yourself up and building content, building your brand. Next pro I want to talk about is traveling. So when you're an esports player, you're generally gonna be traveling a lot, especially if you're in the Call of Duty League or the Overwatch League. You're gonna be traveling to these different cities to play your games. I know for myself, when I was a player, we were traveling to Seattle, San Antonio, New York, even going to LA, coming back home. And it was all for either sponsorship activations, it was for competition, it was for just different events, and all expenses paid for. The last pro for being an esports player is the skills that you learn. The way it molds your character is so overlooked. I mean, think about it. You learn how to work in a team environment. You know how to receive and give feedback. You learn leadership skills. You learn how to talk in front of a camera. You learn how to interact and network with people. You learn how to interact with fans. You learn how to build your platform on social media, YouTube, Twitch, things like that. You learn how to report to a boss, you know, being an esports organization. I mean, as a teenager, I never really had that experience until I stepped in and was a player myself. And I had to report to a higher authority, you know, respect my coach, respect management, all those things. And you can take those skills beyond just esports, beyond just gaming, into any other profession. So that's a total benefit. It's a total pro, something that's easily overlooked, but definitely something that's worth mentioning. All right, what's up next? You guys honestly think I talk off the top of my head? We got a script going here. We're gonna be talking about the cons now, challenges of being a pro gamer. Absolutely zero work-life balance. Let's be honest. Anybody who's been in esports, who is a player watching this video, you know yourself that there is zero work-life balance in professional gaming or in esports in general. Whether you're a player, a caster, a coach, an analyst, whether you're working behind the scenes, whether you're a content creator, a streamer, zero work-life balance. There's no time for leisure. Like, as a professional gamer, if you're expected to play 6 hours, you're gonna have to play 8 to 10, because anything with competition, there's always somebody ready to take your spot, and you gotta be on top of it constantly, 24/7. You gotta wake up every morning feeling the need to prove yourself, and that's just the harsh reality of it, especially with meta changes and things like that. Depending on the game that you play, if you play Overwatch, League of Legends, the meta is constantly changing. Things like Valorant, CSGO, I mean, minor meta changes, but you still gotta be on top of it. I think what truly makes or breaks a pro gamer is that adaptability factor. Like, especially in a game that's constantly changing, constantly evolving, constantly growing, you have to be on top of it. This con is super, super important, this next one that I wanna talk about. And I think a lot of people fail to do this. I failed to do this. The fact that your hobby becomes a job, like for most in esports, is pretty dangerous if you're not careful. Now listen, for myself, when my hobby of playing video games became my job, So being a professional gamer and getting paid to do this thing. This essentially became my core responsibility. Like I was getting paid to do this. That was my financial stability. That was my core responsibility. It was just something that I had to do day to day. When it came to my hobby, it was just something that I did for fun. But when your hobby becomes your job, you no longer have anything that you do for fun. And that's what a lot of gamers do, especially in esports, especially in pro gaming, is their hobby becomes their job and they don't transition and find a new hobby. I remember being in an Uber in LA and some guy asked me, he goes, so what do you do for a living? I told him, I said, I play games professionally. He goes, so what do you do for fun? I play video games. Like that is super unhealthy. I know I wanted to try surfing. I wanted to try skateboarding and I didn't do any of those things. Pretty much on my leisure time, I was either making YouTube videos, streaming, or playing Overwatch, which was the game that I was playing as my job when I shouldn't have been playing on my day off. So that's just something that a lot of esports players go through. I know there's probably a lot of discussion about that topic, so let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to talk about it. You know, honestly, if you guys were into it, subscribe, like the video, GG's in the chat. I'll see you in the next one.